Hi guys, welcome to our channel, and I am Jashwant, a full stack web developer with little skills in AI and teaching. So coming to this topic, we are going to look at how forget password feature is implemented in each and every application. By the end of this video, you'll have enough knowledge to implement this particular feature in any programming language, not just JavaScript or not just Java or not just any other particular language. So watch till the end. This video is really short. Share this video with your friends, and I'll be sending this particular image that I've used in our Telegram channel. So go join there, download that image, and let's start the video. So guys, what actually happens in the forgot password feature? For example, if we forgot our password, we'll reset the password, right? So what happens in the backend? So let's get to know that, and then we can implement the same feature in our application. Okay. So in this particular forgot password UI page, we'll ask our user to enter his registered email ID. Okay. So once the user enters his registered email ID and clicks on submit button, here is the sample route that is present in our backend. Okay. So this particular email ID entered by our user will be sent to the server. So what happens when the server receives a particular email ID for this route? So what happens is, first our server will check if this particular email ID is present in our database or not. So what does that mean? If our user is already registered in our application, so he'll definitely have his record, right, in our database. So if the user exists in our DB, then our server will generate an OTP for this particular email ID. Once the server generates the OTP, the server will store this particular OTP in the server. Okay. And again, here OTP storing in the server and OTP storing in the database. That will be decided by the developer or the product manager based on the project scale and particular use case of that time. Okay. For simplicity's sake, OTP will be stored in the server. Okay. So, and how this will be stored? It will be stored in an object. Okay. Like this particular email ID is having this particular OTP. Okay. And this OTP is generated by the server. Okay. So once server stores this particular OTP with this particular email ID, this OTP will be sent to this particular email ID. So that is why we have Gmail here. Okay. And why Gmail? That doesn't mean that it works only for Gmail. I just kept Gmail because Gmail is the majority share. Okay. Most of us use Gmail. So that's why I just kept Gmail. And in case if any person is using Yahoo or just like you guys having any college portals, we can just put college portal here. Okay. This particular OTP generated for this email ID will be sent to the email ID. Okay. And once the user receives the OTP generated by the server to his particular email ID, he will enter this OTP in the UI and clicks on submit. And what happens after he clicks submit? That particular OTP will be sent to this route. And again, this is the sample route. Okay. So once the server receives the OTP, what server does is it will verify the OTP entered by the user. And how will the server verify the OTP? Because previously it stored the OTP along with the email ID. Okay. So once the user enters the OTP, it will just perform a matching just to check if the correct OTP is entered or not. Okay. If both the OTPs matches, like the OTP stored in the server and OTP entered by the user, if the verification is successful, then the server will send 200 response to the user or browser. Okay. And in case if the user entered a wrong OTP, it will send 500 or 400. Okay. So depending on the response, the UI will proceed to the next step. In case if the user entered a wrong OTP, it will just alert the user that OTP is wrong and please enter the right OTP. In case if we entered the right OTP and verification is successful, server will send 200 response and UI will automatically allow us to enter the new password, right? So in this case, let's assume that we entered the right OTP and we were able to enter the new password, right? So the user will enter his new password that he wants to set, and then he clicks on submit. And what happens after clicking on submit? This particular sample route will receive the new password that is set by the user. Okay. And once our server receives the new password, and then what it does is it will just generate the hash for this new password, because we will not store the plain password in our database, and we should not store for that matter. Okay. So the new hash will be generated for this particular new password, and that hash will be stored in our database. Okay. So it will simply update the old password with this new password for this particular email ID. And what happens after that is user will be able to log in only with this new password. If he entered his old password, the hash will not match and user will not be able to log in. So guys, this is how forget password works in the backend. So in case if you understood what I said, please subscribe to our channel and share this with your friends. So I hope you guys liked it. So please share this video to your friends and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see the implementation part in the next video. So stay tuned.